Good evening, everyone. It's time for Real Talk with Real Pros. I'm Tom Houghton, coming to you live from Omaha, Nebraska, where it's currently 6 p.m. in the evening, but for our guests today, they're just getting their day started. So thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to have Real Talk with Real Pros with Tass Construction Group in just a second, so stay tuned. Give me a thumbs up if you're having a great Wednesday. Davino Holmes is back with the eyes. I love it, Davino. Good to see you again. We've got last week's guest joining us. Fantastic. Good to see you, RB. Hope you're doing well. And like I said, if you're having a great Wednesday, give me a thumbs up. I'm having a great Wednesday because we had Buildertrend online conference earlier today, which was fantastic. So we had a good turnout there. Lots of people learning about Buildertrend. And, hey, so we're going to be joined by Ryan Jenkins from Tass Construction Group here in just a second. Let me with him now. So just 1 second. Stay tuned. Give me a thumbs up. How about some of those hearts? Doot, 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 doot. It's connecting. Hey, there's Ryan.
Tommy, how you going, mate? How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for joining me today. Remind the viewers, so again, it's 6 p.m. here. We're just coming to the end of our day here in Omaha, Nebraska. Tell me what time it is there in Sydney.
It's 9 a.m. I've been in the office for about 3 hours now. I generally start at 6 a.m. We work some pretty decent days. I head out to the sites a lot, to our construction sites. So I usually do that in the morning. So I'll head out to there straight away, and then I'll come in and finish up the day in the office, and generally working from about 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But we love it. So that's why we do those long days.
Yeah, I mean, your work ethic down there is nothing short of amazing. And I know this because we've met in person, which is awesome. So I was down there last, let's see, was that October or August? Sometime in the fall. Well, our fall, your spring. That's the other catch. I thought I'd wear a sweatshirt since it's like 90 plus degrees Fahrenheit here, almost 30 degrees Celsius. Oh. But down there, it's a little bit cooler because you're kind of in your winter season.
Yeah, we're in our winter. It's a really nice, beautiful winter's day outside today. So generally starts at about, I don't know, maybe 9 degrees Celsius in the morning. And in Sydney, you'll probably sail till about 20 degrees on a really nice winter's day. But you start off wearing your jumper in the morning, and you can basically get into shorts and a T-shirt by the middle of the day, but then it cools back off at night time. So the working conditions here are pretty favourable for us. I do follow a lot of builders over in the States, and they have layers upon layers upon layers on, and the gloves and everything. So I do feel for them on those really cold winter mornings.
Absolutely. So again, thank you so much for joining me. If you're just joining right now, we're having Real Talk with Real Pros. I'm joined by my friend Ryan Jenkins from Tass Construction Group, and we're just going to have a real conversation about what's happening with how they're running their company, things that they've been working through recently. So maybe let's start off first just by giving people who might not know about Tass, give me a kind of background on the company. I know that Ben and Aaron Tass started the company, so we'll start there.
Yeah. So Ben and Aaron, they're brothers. They started the company about 4 years ago. So Ben, he high-level building. So he's a builder by trade, and Aaron, he's an engineer, and he also worked a long time for the council. So they sort of just decided to put their brains together, I guess, and form a company. And they developed. We've had a number of employees come work for us. At the moment, we've got about 15 employees, but before COVID, we probably had about 20. So unfortunately, we had to lose a few during the pandemic, but we're a flourishing company. We're very in the growth state, very early days. So, we've just got a big team of like-minded people, like very young. We're probably all in our 20s to 30s, and we just love what we do.
Yeah. Again, since I had the opportunity to meet you and see your team in action, I think that was one thing that I just took away is how tight of a bond you guys have. Great crew, all hardworking. Tell me, how does that happen? How do you get those people and, get them all together?
Well, you start with the culture. Like, obviously, you want your company to have a really good culture. Not only do you want them to produce quality work and projects, you really want to be able to show up to work. Like, you spend the most of your day at work. So you want to be able to rock up to work, show up to work with people that you enjoy working with, that you can at the end of the day sit down and you can call them mates. Like you can literally say, like, I'm a good mate with that person. So it makes rocking up to work so much more enjoyable, and it's just great for the company.
Yeah, fantastic. So tell me, we kind of talked a little about the pandemic there. Let's circle back to that really fast. Do you feel like things are turning in a positive direction where you're at, or are you still kind of going through everything?
Definitely turning into a positive action. It's really sort of flattening out now. It was pretty crazy at the start, but we as construction workers got deemed as essential workers. So we basically got to carry out through and continue to work. And they basically said that we were going to be the factor that's still going to drive the economy. So it was an eerie feeling, knowing that everything was still going on around us, and a lot of people couldn't go to work. But at the end of the day, we got affected a little bit, but we managed to keep pushing through and keep driving.
Fantastic. So tell me about your project, where they're at now. How many projects do you have going on at a time right now?
So we've got 2 projects. We've basically got 2 in Sydney at the moment. One's just on its finishing stages, and the other one is just sort of at the framework stage. So we're doing all the frame. That's a top story edition, and that's really looking great. They're both sensational projects.
Yeah, I mean, sensational projects, you said it first, but I'll tag on to that. I mean, I think building in Australia must be the best place to build in the world, I guess. I mean, if you disagree with me otherwise, leave a note in the comments here. But I'm going to show this picture. I don't know if this picture will show up on your end, Ryan, if you can see it. This is taken from one of your builds, looking out to the water there. Just fantastic.
Yeah, no, that's it's a great place to be building around where we live.
Awesome. I don't know if that picture, we were having issues with the pictures earlier, but I thought I like seeing pictures, so I thought I'd try it right there. So hopefully you can see back. Am I back? You're good?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay, fantastic. So tell me about the communication process with your clients, especially during this time. What's that look like for your team?
So basically, with Buildertrend, like it's generally been running the same. We issuing daily logs every day. They're seeing the project at real time every day. They're seeing 10, 20 photos of how their project is progressing. But I'm always on the phone to them. We have a client meeting once a week. They're so informed, and they love how Buildertrend just keeps them updated every day, and they can just see, and they can basically have their own personal photo album for their project.
Yeah. That's fantastic. One thing I always like to say too, if you're sharing the photos in like the owner portal, those customers, your customers, can share those on Facebook and Twitter as well, which I just see as a huge marketing opportunity for your company. It's free marketing if they're just sharing the photos that you're taking. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, 100%. Our clients absolutely love it. They show their friends, they show everyone. Having that power to be able to keep sending them photos through the daily logs and giving them the update each day is amazing.
Yeah. Walk me through, kind of what you do on the job site. What's your typical day look like when you get there? When you get there, do you use Buildertrend to start a daily log, take pictures?
So when I get our foremans, they do all the daily logs. So I'll go to the sites and I basically supervise the foremans and the people working for them. And basically, I will be in charge of all the schedules. I'll be in charge of the selection. So I'm dealing with the client with schedules, selections, and the foremans are basically doing the daily logs, uploading them. But everyone, the client, myself, and the foreman are all working off the one schedule.
Yeah. And I guess I should have clarified daily logs. Down there you call them site diaries, right?
Yeah. Well, now we use Buildertrend, we just call it a daily log. So beforehand, you probably do a daily report or whatnot, but yeah, it's just a daily log at the moment.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So what do you think, what's kind of like a challenge that you're facing? Do you guys have to stay on site when you're on site? Do you still have to stay distant from one another right now, or can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. So basically the laws that are in place at the moment is it's one person per 4 square meters. But yes, we're going to keep the 1.5 distance. Ever since the pandemic hit, that's what we've been going about. We were lucky that because we had a few projects that we were able to spread our workforce out around those projects and only have.
I think we might have lost Ryan really quick. If you can see me or Ryan, would you just send me a message in the comments real fast? Meanwhile, why don't I just show you a quick photo of me and Ryan working behind the scenes. I think you can see that photo. Hopefully you can see that photo. Give me a thumbs up if you can see this photo. There's a photo of a shoot that I did with Ryan down in Australia when I got the opportunity to go down there last year. Ryan's a great guy. Again, we'll get him back on here in just 1 second, so hang tight. But had the incredible opportunity working with him and his team. We filmed a testimonial video down there with Ryan, and that was fantastic. So again, if you're not following Tass, make sure you do. You can follow them at Tass, that's Tass Construction Group. You can, of course, find them here on Instagram. Give them a follow. They do lots of great site updates, lots of great other content as well. So make sure you check them out. Oh, Ryan, we got you back.
I'm back.
All
Sorry,
right.
so I actually have screen time on my iPhone to help with my productivity through the day, and it crashed.
There you go. You know.
I'm back.
I don't know if you can see the photo that's up right now.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was, I took that from behind the scenes kind of the video shoot that we did back last year. I was just talking about that.
Yep.
Good times. Well, let me clear this picture here really quick. And BTM Constructions, thanks for giving them a follow. That's awesome. So we were talking about kind of being on the job site. Let's just pivot to marketing though, just because I know, so we had the opportunity to do the testimonial video with you, but I've also noticed from following you guys, you're doing testimonial videos from your clients as well, and they're powerful. They're really impressive. So maybe you could talk a little bit about, why you're doing that or how you're doing that. That'd be great to share.
Yeah, so testimonials, for future clients, we believe that testimonials are like the biggest power. Like if you can have someone sit in front of a camera and basically say how happy they were with the project and the workers, like that's really powerful for the next person. Like we believe that if a project gets recommended to a future client, if it gets recommended to them, we got like a 90% success rate of landing that job, because people thrive off recommendations. Just like any other brand, if you recommend some sort of brand, a clothing brand or a shoe brand to your friend, they're going to want to go out and buy that product. So the recommendation, the testimonials are really powerful, because it's other people, like clients for us, backing what we do, producing a really good final project, as well as our culture and our work ethic and the type of people we are.
Yeah, I think it's great because you spend so much time with these people, you spend so much time on their project, and then if you just kind of end the relationship there, it's not giving them an opportunity to share giving them a platform to help share the experience that they had with you. And again, you guys deliver such a great experience. You might as well take a couple, 30 minutes to an hour with them and just share what the project was like.
Yeah, exactly right, 100%. And one of our sort of mantras is experience the journey. We want it to be a journey for the client. Like we want them to have an experience that they'll never forget. Like at the end of it, like we actually want them to look at their finished home and go like, is that it? Like what else can we do? We want you guys to stick around. Like we're having so much fun doing this. Like that is our goal. Like I basically wake up and I go to work, and my end goal is to keep the clients happy and keep the neighbors of the projects happy. At the end of the day, if the clients are happy and the neighbors are happy, I've done my job, because the project speaks for itself. And we've got a name for ourselves throughout the community of being really good builders and just building quality projects and having a really good service.
Yeah. And keeping neighbors happy, that's a struggle everyone deals with. Do you have any tips you can share with how you handle the neighbor situation?
Yeah, so I feel like like contract workers, any type of construction worker, we have this stigma around us of being these big brute men, really intimidating with all these big power tools. And I can understand that. Like we're starting to work at 7 a.m. over here, and people are still asleep, especially around the city, because they're 9 to 5ers and we're 7 till 4 p.m. So we're starting when they're in bed. So that obviously we're waking them up on the wrong side of the bed to begin with all our loud power tools. But I think you've just got to be personable with them. What we do is I will go around before the project starts. I'll knock on the neighbour's door. I'll introduce myself. I'll leave a card. I'll basically say, look, any problems at all, please come contact me. And then during the project, I'll always make sure I go around or give the neighbours a courtesy call. I feel like keeping the neighbours as informed as possible, it just gives them a bit of reassurance. Like they're still in... we're not just going to come in there and make as much noise as possible and we don't care about that. We want to show them that we care.
Absolutely. I love that idea. I mean, communication is key, especially now more than ever with this pandemic, of course, making sure you're communicating not only with your clients, but that's also a great tip to share, contact the neighbors, drop off a card, like you said. That's some really good stuff there. So let me ask you about trends that you're seeing in your area. Anything stand out right now?
The architects, like I've noticed the architects and the new builds coming through, the really high level luxurious constructions, they've got a lot of curves and a lot of arches, which I think are going to look amazing. They're very very hard to do. A lot more effort goes into creating a perfect curved surface than it is to two square edges. But with our clients, it's hard because yes, there has been the sort of duplex era where people came along and they wanted to knock down one dwelling to put two dwellings there on that block of land, and they'd sell one and keep one. That's still sort of continuing, but it's all client. It all depends what the client wants. They know what they envision. We find that they've been saving for so many years, and they know what they like and what they don't like. And every build we do, I feel like just is unique in itself. Like it's just the client has been up all night and all day saving their pennies and also thinking about this. And it's they put their emotion and they put their heart into the build, and we recognise that. And that's why we will go above and beyond for them, because we know they've been working a long time to be able to produce their dream home.
Absolutely. Such a great point there. I think it's something that in the industry, when you're dealing with these builds all the time, the numbers of this just kind of get normal. When you don't, you gotta take a step back and remember these people are this is probably the biggest purchase decision that they've ever made or will ever make, and so it's fantastic that you keep that in mind when you're working with them. I want to talk about your company mission really quick, which from the website says customize homes, change lifestyles, and create memories. I love that because obviously this isn't something that just happens overnight. It takes a little bit of time, and you don't want to leave that customer with a bad experience. So maybe could you share briefly just how you guys maybe if you know how they came up with the mission of customize homes, change lifestyles, and create memories, or something about that.
Yeah, well, I know Aaron and Ben, their vision is obviously we do custom high-end renovations and new builds. So that's where that customized homes came from. And the creating memories is basically they know that this is a family home. Like we build forever homes for people. Like we are your forever home specialist. So we know how much emotion is in these homes. So that's where we basically will go through we know that these people are going to have a boundless amounts of memories in this home. So we know that's where the whole memory side comes off. And it's been thought up for a long time. But I think the mantra that they got now, our mission is it's a really good one.
Yeah. You mentioned having fun earlier. Again, just hanging out with you guys, it's so hard to tell sometimes virtually like this, but having gotten a chance to meet you in person, I know that having fun is just part of your DNA. And I just think that's such a good thing to bring to your job, hey, you're, like you said, you're there the majority of the day, why not make it enjoyable?
Yeah, I know exactly right. And I'm a strong believer that like you need to be passionate about your work. Like if you're not springing out of bed to go to work, then maybe you're not in the right job. Like we're so passionate about this and we love this. That's why we instill a really good culture, because we want everyone to be there out the front of the job site talking and laughing when the sun's coming up, and normally people are tired, but we want to just have so much energy and so much passion in our job sites. And by employing the right people with the right culture, that are hard workers and are just really passionate and energetic, it spreads out. It spreads throughout the whole company. Like just one good enthusiastic person can really change the dynamic of a company. But when you're putting 15 enthusiastic young men coming to work on your house, it's so enjoyable. There's so much fun on the site. It's like, yes, there's time to be serious, and yes, we do. We get to the sites and we rip in and we work really hard. But at the same time, when you love what you do, you're going to have fun no matter what you're doing.
Absolutely. Had a great question come in, and this is a good segue because I know that you're doing task tips and a couple other things too. But somebody asked, what's your approach to educating your clients? So maybe you could speak to that a little bit.
Okay, so basically, when I have client meetings, I will basically walk them through the whole house, and I'll create, not only walk them through the whole house and show them the details, show them the finishes, bringing samples on. You want them, I find that clients struggle to visualize, especially when they're office workers, or they don't have any knowledge of the construction game. They struggle to visualize the finished product. So I've got to go above and beyond, and it's hard when you're looking at blank walls or you're looking at plans just drawn. You've got to try and create that image for them and let them feel what it's actually the final product's gonna look like.
Absolutely. Again, that goes back to the communication piece. Are you using any technology pieces to help you with that process?
Buildertrend's great because basically we'll take photos and we can mark up photos. We can mark up the photos, and just by adding a few lines to a photo can really make them see different aspects of the build. So we'll send that photo straight back to them. I'll make section details or draw them up in the office and then send them to them. We just want to be like, myself, I want to be as completely transparent as possible. Like I want to make sure the client knows exactly 100% what they're getting at the end of the day, because if there is any miscommunication, then it leads to them being unhappy. And that's what we don't want. Like I want them to be 100% happy with the decision, the finishes, and exactly how it's going to look for the end of their project.
Fantastic. Let me talk really quick about, I mentioned the task tips thing. I kind of want to dive into that just a little bit more. So you're doing this segment called Task Tips. You've done a lot of videos, actually, a lot of video series. So tell me what was the idea behind it?
Well, it was just, we were thinking what do people want to see? Like, and there's a few builders out there that I jump onto their pages and I'm just blown away by just them doing these little tip videos and showing that stuff. And it engages a whole different audience. Like some audiences want to see like finished project photo and stuff like that. But there's another aspect of audience, and I find it is a lot of tradesmen and a lot of guys and people who are about to build as well, that want to see like different tips, like how different tools work, how we do different aspects of the build. And it's just another little stream that we can show them, that keeps us being personable as well. Like it's funny how many people I meet that feel like they already know me because they see me on Instagram every day, just talking to the camera. But when you do have people come up and I do get messages, and I'm so grateful for the messages I receive from people saying like, hey, your videos are actually really informational. Like we're doing this to our house, or we're thinking about doing this. I noticed that you're doing this. Do you have any other tips? It's really rewarding to see that those, even if I affect one person and one person gains a little bit of knowledge out of there, then I've done my job at the end of the day.
Absolutely true. I love your perspective on that. Again, even if it's just one person that you reach and you help them out, you can apply that to your actual company and building houses, affecting, that family that's building with you in a positive way and leaving a positive experience. I mean, that's really why, we love working with builders like yourself, builders who pride themselves on delivering an exceptional customer service that, clients rave about. That's what you want.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. It's at the end of the day, as I said before, like it's my purpose to rock up to the job site and make sure at the end of the job the client's happy and the neighbor's happy, and then the project is literally going to speak for themselves. Like if the client is happy, then everything is completely gone to plan and their vision is there standing in front of them. And if everyone else around us is happy, we know that we've given the client and the neighbors like a really, really good service that they can actually stand back and go like, wow, that was really good. That was great to deal with Tass Construction Group.
Absolutely. So real quick to wrap things up, when I was down there, I got to eat at some great places, great food. So share with everybody, kind of what's your favorite place to grab a bite to eat?
Oh, grab a bite. Well, basically, I live near Cronulla Beach, which is just south of Sydney, and you can literally walk through the mall there, and there's great burger joints. There's so many different places, but I would definitely recommend anyone traveling to Sydney, I should say, New South Wales. Everyone, you got Bondi, that's the big hotspot, but I honestly reckon that Cronulla is one of the most beautiful beaches and areas, as well as the South Coast. If you go a little bit further down, our coastline is amazing, and all along that coastline, especially in the age we are now, there's like cafes are just going above and beyond because they're just competing with each other. So the food they're producing is unbelievable. But yeah, I think if you go to a cafe and there's a lot of people sitting there, you know it's got to be good food.
That's a good travel tip. That's always when you're in a new place, you never want to walk in and be the only person there.
Yeah,
that's
100%,
never a good sign.
100%.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Awesome. Well, real quick, I just wanted to share this photo of me with a kangaroo because that was a thing that I did there. I saw a kangaroo, which is probably commonplace for you, but for me, it was pretty crazy. So thanks for having kangaroos and doing all the great work that you guys are doing.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, we'll be in touch later. But again, thanks so much. If you're on still, give Tass Construction Group a follow. If you're not following them, you can find them again just at Tass Construction Group. And you can see Ryan and more videos there and doing some site walks. I think I just saw a story of you doing another site walk from yesterday. So good stuff. All right. Thanks, guys.